Baseball is back in full swing on LakePoint Sports resurfaced fields, and after a wild weekend at the Georgia Dugout Club tournament, we get to do it all over again. I'm Cory McCartney. That's Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. And Hudson, before we turn our attention to week 2 of the Georgia Dugout Club tourney, what stood out to you in week 1?
I think just the all-around talent throughout the 8 fields. It was Friday night was probably the most crowded that I've ever seen Lake Point. I think they were having a park over in the Champion Center. It was so crowded, especially that Walton Etowah game. There was probably every MLB team in attendance for that game. Star-studded lineups on both sides with draft picks all over the field. But I really think the depth throughout was really, really cool to see. And being able to see matchups that we don't always get to see was probably my favorite thing at the event.
So let's talk top games this Friday and Saturday as we dive into week 2. And Hudson, let's start with Jefferson and West Forsyth, where you have one of the state's top players in 2025. That's Clemson commit Eston Simpson versus a deep West Forsyth team that includes some major 2026 talent like Colton Sweat and Charlie Delp.
Yeah, man, really excited for that one. Eston, hoping he'll go against that West Forsyth game. Don't know for sure yet. We'll find out here pretty soon. But that's just a unique matchup that we don't always get to see. Mason Meehan will be leading the lineup for West Forsyth at the top of the order, and then you got Colton Sweat and Charlie Delp right behind him. So that's probably one of my favorite matchups of the week. But there's also a couple others that really, really stand out. You got East Forsyth and Carrollton. Got a lot of Forsyth teams in this week, so that'll be a trend here. But East Forsyth, I got to see them against Holy Innocents in the playoffs. They had a big time comeback to go to the next round. And then Carrollton, they got some up and coming guys that we really want to see as well. And then you got North Forsyth and Dawson County. So another Forsyth team. Dawsonville's not too far away, so that's a little bit of a rivalry game for them. Dawson County's got some younger guys. That they're missing a few with basketball, depending on what happens. But North Forsyth has a really fun lineup that I really like that I want to get a good look at.
Yeah, I mean, with Carrollton, the state's number 20 and 25 player in 2025, and Texas commit Maddox Mansour. I think we did hit nearly every direction possible in Forsyth County. Sorry, South Forsyth and Forsyth Central. We had you guys last week. But moving on to your players to watch, I mentioned Charlie Delp at West Forsyth. He made your list along with some duos from both Carrollton and Hillgrove.
Yeah, Charlie, I'm really excited to see because he had a great fall. He was hitting bombs left and right at Lake Point, and then he comes to preseason All State, and he knows he probably didn't have the best round. So I'm excited to see what his bounce back and have a good showing for us at the Georgia Dugout Club week 2. And then moving into the Carrollton names, you got Evan Moody, a 2026 that's really popped off this fall, has made some huge strides on the mound and at the plate. So really excited to see that two-way talent. And then following him is freshman Caleb Hudson. He's already gotten a lot of varsity time as a freshman, see videos on Twitter. So super excited to see him, whether it be on the mound or in the outfield in the lineup. And then moving on to Hillgrove, they got a couple guys that I'm excited to see as well. Avery Wilson is one that kind of popped up last spring and came to top prospect games this summer, can absolutely fly in the outfield and in the lineup. So he's one that's kind of sneaking his way up in the 2025 class. Definitely one we want to keep an eye on for the 17U Future Games team. And then following him is their catcher, Carson Vick. He can also play third. He's super versatile, just a grinder type ball player. So he's one that we've really, really been wanting to see. We know he had a strong fall, and then he's leading that Hillgrove squad this spring.
Yeah, I spent some time with Delp during January's Georgia preseason All-State. An impressive kid, got some serious juice in that bat. We'll see if it translates this weekend. And this is just the beginning of our Georgia Dugout Club coverage. So make sure you check out everything over at the Prep Baseball Georgia website for all that they're doing. And you don't want to miss our live broadcast from the GDC tourney. We've got Jefferson and Alexander for you Friday at 4 p.m., Dawson County and North Forsyth Saturday at 12:30. So be sure to tune into those on Facebook, X, and YouTube. They're all streaming for free. Hudson, great stuff, man. Appreciate it. And be sure to keep that Scout's eye strong.
Yeah, man, we'll see you this weekend.